Hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC. Here it certainly looks now, as if we have a top of sorts in place. It reacted here to that resistance around 130. It did briefly peak above it, but didn't really in any sustained way get above the previous high. The 130 level, something we highlighted here as very relevant resistance, and we were just waiting for the drop out of this wedge pattern. Wedge patterns typically indicate exhaustion. In my view, this was an ending diagonal, which again also indicates exhaustion. What we need to be aware of is that crypto charts, oftentimes when they drop out of a wedge to the downside, it's not a very steep correction, or it's not a very strong one. Yeah, sometimes these can be quite shallow. So the next key support will be at 112. So just be aware that here at the 112 level, there could be a first initial support, and we could see a reaction to the upside. We're nearly there, and it will be interesting. Yeah, I mean, basically what we talked about in previous videos is that if we drop out of this wedge to the downside, we can expect probably this wave 1 to be finished. Yesterday, all we did was to retest it from below. The retest was successful. We dropped quite strongly. And I think we are now in this wave 2. That's at least one scenario, and support for the scenario, or the common support area for such a wave 2, is between the 50% retracement and the 78.6 retracement, so between $1.05 and basically 88 cents. Only below 88 cents, I would favor a stronger drop into the 60 cent area, maybe even below 60 cents. Because the closest pivot point, or support area, is now this one. So if this breaks, we're morphing into the other count, which would suggest a deeper wave 2. So the first count, where we have an imminent support area here, very, very close already, would be that we moved up off the June low in a wave 1. And then we had our A wave, B wave, C wave here, or maybe even 1-2-1-2 setup. I'm not entirely sure about that, but it also doesn't really make a difference. And then we are now in a 1-2 setup as well, and this wave 2 should find support here and could then rally to, $2 and beyond. And the other count will get into control basically if we drop below the 85 cent or 87 cent level, because then we talk about here a wider flat pattern. So we then talk about a wave 1 to the upside, and then an A overshooting B wave, and now a C wave down. Difficulty with this pattern is we could get a expanded flat, which will most likely go below the A wave, so at 69 cents. That would be the more common pattern, or a running flat would actually end above it. So that's where it will be very difficult if we have that expanded flat pattern, but what I can tell you, if we get into the screen support area, first of all, it will put you in a favorable reward to risk situation. And for anybody who wants to buy long term, I think, this is an interesting accumulation area here anyway, spot for the long term if we get into this region. And even if we go down a little lower, if we wait a few months, or maybe, a few months, probably, until the bull run starts, you will be very happy because you bought at a fairly attractive price. In the end, it is when we get into a bull run with all these coins, it doesn't matter where exactly you bought, it just matters that you bought. Now, I'm not suggesting to you to buy MATIC necessarily. I think we have a few clearer charts at the moment, but this is still a very, very solid chart. Also long term, a really, really attractive price chart. And if we go into the very short term, I think we have on many crypto charts the situation that in the very short term, the move down here is nearly finished. Also with MATIC, I'm not telling you that definitely the wave 2 is finished, but we could argue that maybe something like an A wave is nearly finished. We have sort of here a 3-wave structure. Typically, the A wave of a wave 2 likes to bounce off the 38.2 fib. That's here at 112. So what could happen, and I did highlight that today in a few other crypto videos, that this is just an A wave of 2. We are going to move up in a B wave and will then later come down in a C wave. I think this is something that we need to keep in mind as a possibility. For a wave 2 actually to complete here, the 38.2 Fib level is a bit too shallow. It's possible, but it's a bit shallow. So oftentimes, as I said, these crypto charts, they tend to do their wave A at the 38.2 Fib if we are in a larger wave 2. So here I would watch for a bounce. In a B wave, could go up maybe to around about 125 again, 130 maybe, and then come down in C. At least I'm watching that. Yeah, of course the wave 2 could be finished there as well, but it would be very shallow. So keep that in mind. Ideally, it gets eventually into this area. Okay, that's my update about MATIC. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.